Governor Tony Evers posting to his social media this past week, meeting John Ridley at No Studios in Milwaukee. Ridley, a Wisconsin native, screenwriter, director, and showrunner, known for hits including 12 Years a Slave, is now embarking on a new long-term mission, pushing lawmakers to offer better tax incentives to studios and networks to shoot their movies and shows right here in Wisconsin. And he talked with Jaron this past week.
I wanted to talk about that idea of Hollywood being outside of California, increasingly globally, domestically as well. There's cities like New Orleans, states like Georgia, which you mentioned, that are really ramping up their footprint when it comes to making movies, to making films. Do you see Wisconsin ever being able to tap into that?
Well, as real quick context, over the last 2 years since the pandemic ended, I went from being, like everyone else, at home, not knowing what the future is, thinking maybe the future is just being at home. Since then, I have lived in Toronto, in Ohio, in Cincinnati. We filmed in Dayton, Los Angeles, which is my home, but we did some filming there. We're doing our post-production right now in New York City. When I was in Ohio, the great state of Ohio, filming, and you see just the most regular folks who are part of building dreams, that dream factory, who are working, who are collecting money because, as I said, they're swinging the hammers, or they're extras, or they happen to love old cars. Our film was set in the late 1960s, early 1970s. We need folks with cars. They were all showing up. We were spending money. Folks could not have been nicer, more gracious, and really took a vested interest in what we were doing. All of that money that was spent there, I wish we had just moved up the country a little bit. No disrespect to the great state of Ohio. No disrespect to the wonderful city of Cincinnati. But I would say to folks, why aren't we spending this money in the state of Wisconsin? This is not a lefty liberal issue. This is not a conservative business issue. This is a jobs issue. And I don't want to pick on people, and I don't want to cast aspersions, but for the amount of money that was put forward to attempt to get Foxconn to come here and build these factories, yeah, some jobs arrived. A lot of them were more about building the infrastructure to hopefully maybe get some factories here. But I think most people would say they didn't get the bang for the buck that was promised.
Have you talked to any lawmakers currently about this idea, this plan?
I have.
What are they saying about it?
Well, I talked to, in particular, His Honor, the governor. He's behind it, but it's not any one individual. And it really isn't even about the legislature. It's going to come down to that. But it's about going to people who are part of the hotel industry and saying, here's how this benefits you. It's about going to farmers who, unfortunately, they're struggling right now, to say to them, look, there's an opportunity, and there really is an opportunity, because as you build these incentives, you can actually build pluses. So let's just say, I'm just going to pick a number, let's just say it's a 5% tax incentive, maybe much more than that, maybe up to 15%. But you can say, hey, if you film in Rhinelander, we're going to bump that up to 17%. If you film in some of the most distressed parts of Wisconsin, whether it's rural parts that are distressed, where population is leaving, whether it's urban parts where you need investment, you can increase that incentive so people are going to want to come and spend money there.
When you look at this and wanting to have these programs here in Wisconsin, where do you see it happening anytime in the near future?
I would like to think that we could get some legislation going in the next 3 years.
Okay.
I think we could do it, and that would be my personal goal. I can't guarantee that. I'm not Joe Namath. I'm not sticking my finger up there saying I'm going to get it, but it would be wonderful.
All right.
Up next, Summerfest returns.